charge of those two decks. I mean, Kashtira, very aggressive deck, lots of damage. But when you play the Runick cards, now you're cutting back on your battle phase.
And the trick is, as I've been saying all weekend, to play it like the world's best gadget deck, where you just deplete all of your opponent's cards, just get them all out of the way, while you have just a never-ending supply of monsters and other things. And eventually those battle phases don't matter. Once you finish skipping them and your opponent just doesn't have anything, your monsters just take out all of their life points.
Yeah, and with the Kashtira monsters naturally being so big, it's not going to be too difficult to deplete the opponent's life points.
Yeah, you only just need one turn when you're not using Runicks.
So Kevin is going to be going first, and he's going to be starting off with a Rikka spell card.
Looks like Rikka Glamour, I believe.
Now, that card was recently reprinted.
Yeah, some of the key cards for the Rikka deck. Haven't seen them since Secret Slayers, but brought them back again here in Maze of Memories. And Rikka Glamour is going to go ahead and add a Rikka monster from the deck, and it's Rikka Petal. Rikka Petal's attack also lets you take a Rikka monster from your deck and add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard.
Now remember, there's a lot of restrictions when it comes to Rikka cards. There's a lot of it just going to lock you into only playing plant monsters for the turn.
Luckily, there are a number of good plant monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! And we're going to see a number of them in this match.
You can see Shunping needing to pick up the cards and read them this time. I'm guessing this is going to be a surprising strategy for him as well.
Yep, and that's Rikka Princess that he picked up with Petal. During your main phase, you can special summon her from your hand while it's in the face of Monster Zone. Once again, you can't special summon monsters except plants. Now, if your opponent activates a monster effect while you have a Rikka monster, you can shuffle her from your hand or graveyard into the deck and tribute a plant to negate that effect. So those two are combined to make Sylvan Dance Peon, the Link 2 monster.
Now, there's lots of plants coming on board. And we're probably just going to see even more.
So he's reading Sylvan Dance Peon.
So it requires 2 plant monsters to link summon this monster. If this card is link summon, you can choose a number from 1 to 3, excavate that many cards from the top of the deck. And if you do, you can special summon up to 2 excavated plant monster, but they cannot be used as link materials. So there's a little bit of restriction for the monster. Also send the remaining cards to the graveyard. And you can target 1 plant monster in the graveyard that has a level, and the level of the monsters that this card points to becomes that level.
Now, Sylvan is an Xyz plant deck. And Rikka also an Xyz plant deck. So a lot of these effects, like level modulation, not being able to link summon, that's fine. You can use all these things together to make the Rikka monsters instead. This time we're just going to go ahead and special summon Mardell, the generator raider. Mardell, the generator boss of...
Yeah. And that's because that is the plant generator. A lot of the generators, they work within their own typing, and that one lets you add a plant monster from your deck to your hand. Lots of adding of plants.
So we've got a level modulation effect turning into a level 4.
And that is Strenna.
Organizing chain links here. Now, Rikka Queen Strenna activates the effect attaching Mardell. That can add back a Rikka or plant from the graveyard to the hand. Or rather, it's a plant monster or a Rikka card, so you can get back the spells and traps with this. Now let's see if he has the effect to tribute off the Strenna.
Yes, now, if Rikka Strenna gets attributed off, you get to more or less use her as material and climb up the ranks of plant monster Xyz. And guess what we have? I believe that's a Hyperiton?
Yep, that's Sigurd Beast Hyperiton and Rikka Con the field spell.
Oh, the field spell. Almost feels like Lair of Darkness.
It does. Once per turn, you can tribute one of your opponent's monsters to use your Rikka card.
And we're going to see the attachment of a Book of Moon on the Hyperiton. And Con's effect is going to activate.
Once you set a Rikka spell or trap directly from your deck to your spell and trap zone, you can go ahead and get Rikka Sheet there. To target a face-up monster your opponent controls. Also, you contribute a plant. Players can't activate the face-up monster effects on the field this turn. And if you contribute a plant, you can steal that monster, and it becomes a plant.
Ooh, very powerful stuff. Just taking control of your opponent's cards, using their cards for your tributes. This deck is one that can definitely remove a lot of the threats on the field. And a lot of these Rikka spells and Rikka trap cards, you can just play the cards as they are, or you can get the additional effect through the additional tribute. You can pay the extra cost. Almost feels like Trap Tricks, Trapaholitea, where you can pay the cost to activate it right away. Kind of in that direction of card effects.
So Paradin now has a monster and a spell attached to it. Those are the two you need when you're playing against Kashtira. If your opponent activates a card of one of those types, you can detach it to negate it.
I believe Shunping is right now looking through his extra deck. Trying to see if there's any options to kind of play through this field. I believe Shunping is probably going to choose to go first here.
Starting off with
Normal Summon Riseheart.
Huh. All right.
I mean, it's an uncommon opening for Kashtira.
We're going to go ahead and banish a
Unicorn.
And tilt my head sideways there for a second to see what his pose was. Ah, okay, he's got Birth in hand as well. Can activate Kashtira Birth. Special summon back the Unicorn.
We're going to follow up with that Unicorn activation. Yes, we are. Now, some people tend to double up on Birth just because they have additional fault, but this time it seems like we're going to, use it right away by going into Kashtira Theosis. On resolution.
And there it is, the Duel and Lockbird. Now, Shunping was able to do like a bunch of different things before that came down. It's
the Theosis is still live.
Yeah, the Theosis is still live. It's not the most vicious Duel and Lockbird I've ever seen.
I believe we're chaining the Runick tip to the Duel and Lockbird, so we can at least get another card out before the Duel and Lockbird locks us out.
And when you're playing against this deck, make sure that you don't actually banish your top card until you see what they've searched. You don't want them to change what they're searching for because you jumped the gun and showed what your top card is.
That's right. You have to fully resolve the effect before you can get the banish.
And now, because a monster effect is activated, Shunping gets to go ahead and take a look.
It's going to take some time to rearrange that extract just so it's a little bit easier to comprehend.
That honestly would annoy me a bit.
I
if my opponent was just taking all this time to rearrange my extra deck.
I mean, if they're all mixed up and you want to see if there's any double copies, I think this is the best way to take a look. Just in case you're flipping through, maybe you missed a card or two.
I still want him to knock it off.
I played extra because I need to shuffle my extra deck.
Mm-hmm.
It's a done spell? No graveyard. Okay. Oh, right.
Now that we are locked under Duel and Lockbird, we're not going to be able to draw or add any additional cards via card effects. But we're going to see a Theosis activated, targeting the Unicorn.
Unicorns win, so you got to get something of a different attribute.
Now, a lot of the other Kashtira monsters can't search now, so this is going to be a bit more difficult. But you're still getting the level 7 onto the field, and that's going to establish 3 level 7s onto the field.
So it goes for Tearlaman's Kashtira.
Perhaps we'll see the effect activated just so we can gain a little more reach into the deck by sending cards from the deck to the graveyard. I don't know who is going to hit himself with that effect.
Sends 3 spells. 2 of them appear to be runic spells.
And the last one is a Birth. Now, does he have a Runick Fountain already in hand? That would be very beneficial so that we can wait till the Drone Lockbreak expires and perhaps get the additional draws. The next turn, we're going to see a Rise Heart put in attack position.
Activates Fountain.
There is the Fountain.
Nothing on enemy phase.
And does not set the remaining 2, leaves them in hand.
Draw for turn. Draw phase.
So if the Arise Heart gets turned off, the cards will still hit the graveyard again. We're going to see a Book of Moon activated. And that's going to flip. Oh, we're going to chain the Arise Heart. And we're going to banish the Book of Moon face down. And Arise Heart gets flipped face down from the Book of Moon. Now, as I was saying, if the Arise Heart gets flipped face down, that's going to allow the Runick cards to start to hit the graveyard again, start reloading, so it doesn't counter each other.
Starts with the Orchid Petal. That's the normal summon you'd want. Just depends on what Runick cards he actually has.
Effective Petal.
Resolve, so Freezing Curse.
We're going to add
Not.
Princess.
Yep. That is Princess.
This is a free special summon.
Yeah, there's one. It's just
Oh.
And just keeping the face down and face up banished cards separated.
Now, there is another effect on the Princess, but I think we're just most likely going to see a follow-up special summon.
So that works as well. I wonder if Shipping has any relevant Runick cards, or any Runick cards. These two become Dance Peon.
Oh boy.
Got to shuffle before we excavate.
This is almost the repeat of the previous game.
It is looking pretty good.
If there is a Runick spell, it's going to be really, really good for Shunping. Perhaps even able to draw 3 cards.
Ooh, Con Rose Lover, evenly matched. So we talked about this one a little briefly. You want Rose Lover in your graveyard, so you can banish it from the graveyard, summon a plant from your hand, make it immune from traps.
Mm-hmm.
Snowdrop's into that.
Snowdrop. So you can...
Beyond's effect, target...
Yeah, so Snowdrop, you special summon both her and another plant monster from your hand. And Snowdrop also has the level modulation effect that makes them all match the level of one of your plants.
There's 2 level 8s right now. We're going to overlay. Is it going to be an Alce? No, they became 4s. They became 4s.
4s, yes. So you can match it either way. You don't have to make them all level 8. You can make it 4.
Beyond. Targeted Princess.
Yeah, the Princess being level 4, that was the target. And that's going to change the levels of the ones that are being pointed to. Oh, there is a Runick card. There's a Runick Destruction. I believe he's going for the summon effect here. We're going to summon out Jerry? Or Gary?
And get back a Runick card and triggered Fountain.
And the other Fountain.
Okay, Chain Link 3. Chain Princess. Tribute Shona.
Control Rikka monster, shuffle this person. And tribute one monster.
Yeah, this is in the graveyard. This is in deck for cost.
We're going to see the tributing of the Queen Strenna. And she does have materials.
Negate. Yeah, it just negates this thing. Yes.
I believe Princess is attempting...
Yeah, this
to
is
negate the
using
effect.
Princess effect. Because you could use it in the graveyard. You just have to tribute something on the field. Shubing's going to get 3 new cards out of this. And now Strenna's going to activate in a new chain.
This is such a difficult matchup.
And that goes for, looks like Kanzashi.
But it is Kanzashi, the Rikka
Kanzashi.
Queen.
So Kanzashi didn't really see this card, I think, in some of the older versions of the deck. But if monster is tributed, except during the damage step, you detach material, target monster in either graveyard, summon it, negate its effects, and it's a plant. And you can also tribute plants you control to protect. Tribute plant in your hand or field to protect plants on the field if they'd be destroyed by card effect. She's 2400, 2400.
Tashi, Texas. Yeah.
Sure, and then after Gary die or after the Gary effect.
Oh,
Shunping's probably going to use the effect to.
destroy. And that's going to tribute the Link.
The other one.
If a monster triggered detach make a target, a monster with either previous special summon target.
Snowdrop.
We're going to revive the Snowdrop from the effect of Kanzashi. So special summon defense position. Snowdrop.
I will set one and drop.
And we're going to get a set one and pass.
Yeah, so Rikka Petal comes out during your opponent's end phase. It can spring back out. So you don't have that open corridor to your life points on your own turn.
So a Rise Heart is now going to be flip summoned back onto the field. Cards are now being banished once again.
Was unable to deal with that Kashtira Birth as well.
But I wouldn't count this out just yet. There's lots of effects, lots of surprises. We're going to start off with a destruction. Now, there is no battle phase. Of course, the Runick cards, you normally would expect the Kashtira to, battle phase being able to attack through a couple of cards here. But now we're going to see a Runick destruction. Target the back. Ooh. Maybe flipped over the Rise Heart a little too early.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to flip that back on his own.
But it is a Book of Eclipse, and maybe the additional card draw is going to matter a little bit more.
He will get that one card in the end phase. And with the fountain up, a lot of these cards are going to be live.
But we're not done with this chain just yet.
He's going to chain to put a monster in the extra monster zone, maybe?
We're going to see a freezing curse. Yes.
Everything else.
That's going to provide even more draw.
Top 4. Oh, right.
Once again, by turning off the Arizer, that also keeps all the Runick quick play spells in the graveyard after the activation.
It's a top 2.
Oh, was that a flashing fire? That was a flashing fire, not a freezing curse.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still a special summoned monster while it's face down. You can do it.
And it's going to be a 3-card draw from the Runick Fountain. Well, Shunping definitely playing very well, maintaining a very healthy hand size, and there's going to be 2 more cards that's going to be drawn from the Book of Eclipse.
Yeah, that's the rough thing with that versus just regular old Book of Moon.
Normal summon out Kashtira Unicorn.
Which you can do thanks to Kashtira Birth, waiving the tribute requirements.
And Theosis into Fenrir. Fenrir effect. Now that we're not locked under Drone Lockbird,
You just do whatever you want.
we're going to see a second Arise Heart.
Rise Heart.
I've seen a couple of players out there in the field in this event going double Arise Heart. Oh, we are going to perform a 2-monster. See summon? Nope, he puts it back down.
Thinking about Diablosis, maybe? I don't know that you necessarily go... Well, you could just go Shangri-La.
Yeah, Shangri-La, you can still make Oh, there is going to be a Scareclaw. Scareclaw activated. I mean, Theosis is there. We're going to be able to get something back with that Theosis.
Yep, and that's part of why you detach all the materials there at first. You make sure those get banished away, so you can go and grab them later on.
Yeah, sometimes when your opponent is activating something to threaten your Arise Heart, it's better to actually get rid of all your materials, even if you're just banishing nothing of value. But it's more important for you to get those cards banished so that you can actually retrieve them later on. It's some forward thinking. We are seeing Arise Heart number 2.
There it is. And keeping Fenrir on the field as well for another banish.
Now, there is no battle phase, so... But I don't think that matters too much here. There's a way more than enough removal here.
Banishes Kashtira Birth from the graveyard to special summon.
And there's another Theosis that we see right away. They can just combo off with each other, just banish the Theosis, and eventually, next turn, get it back.
Picks that up on that Rise Heart. And then those two are going to become Shangri-Era. I don't even know that you need to do this.
I
feel like the Fenrir is just good enough.
Perhaps we are trying to see some zone locking.
There's just
from
no
this.
need. There's absolutely no need.
Does Kevin have any card in his hand at the moment? I can't see if it's off camera or not, or maybe there's nothing left. No,
No, the cards are in his hand because he's picking them up.
Oh, okay. Well, this is going to move this game to 1-1.
Or maybe he's not. Maybe he's just arranging them.
Oh, maybe. Well, I jumped
thought
the
he
gun
was.
there.
I thought he was picking up.
I jumped the gun there. So we're going to see Big Bang being banished. We're going to see cards being banished face down. We're going to see Big Bang detaching off of the Shangri-Era, adding the Fenrir, putting the Fenrir back onto the field. We did get to the middle monster zone being basically rendered unusable.
And then those two other cards are going to flip up in the end phase, and Shunping's going to draw 2 cards. And I don't think there is one draw in Kevin's deck.
We are going to a triple Arise Heart. And a Terraforming. Well,
I don't know why Kevin's sitting through this.
yeah, but you do get a little bit of extra time in the top 8.
I suppose he's just trying to see as much of Shunping's deck as possible.
But you're getting a lot of cards being reattached to both of these monsters, these titans here. And there's a 2-card draw at the end, just as icing on the cake
And the
here.
third one is another Arise Heart. One of them, there's another Arise Heart down there.
There is a card that potentially Kevin can draw. It could be another Book of Eclipse to turn everything off all at once.
Okay, and then what?
Yeah.
So here's the good thing. If you're a Kevin supporter here, he can get Rikka Petal back.
Draw 2 cards. Moonin gonna gain 1,000 life points also at the end phase. Okay, there's just a lot of things happening right now. Oh, we're gonna be banishing the set card. Oh.
That was turn 1.
And it is banished face down. Kevin not giving up here. I mean, when you're 1 game up, I believe you just want to see if you can just maybe just clutch it out. Just get the out.
Sorry, which out was that? What was that again?
Yeah, I'm being hopeful here. I'm being hopeful here, okay?
Which one?
So with the triple Arise Heart currently on the field, oh, evenly matched could be another choice. But is there the Rikka Petal?
In the semifinals on the line. Kevin's going to get the chance to go first here. Begins with Rose Lover. Immediately sends her away to Link Summon.
We're going to see
It's the Sunavalon.
Yeah, no.
is it the Dryas?
Yes. In fact, that's the only Sunavalon in this entire extra deck. Just 1 copy of Dryas.
These plants kind of remind me a little bit of Sword Soul, where Sword Soul played with a lot of the other worm-based strategies, and now we're seeing Sylvan, Sunavalon, Rikka, kind of in the same realm of like just being able to work with each other, synergize with each other here.
So Rose Girl and the Dryas now combine to form Sylvan Dance Peon. It's going to excavate the top 3.
We did hit 2 monsters.
That's pretty good. It's got a 4 and a 1 right there. Now we can match up the levels.
Shunping checking the graveyard to see what the levels can be changed into.
Rose Girl's effect.
Rose Lover's effect is activated now.
Summoning out Mardell.
Mardell.
More plant cards being added to hand.
And the crowd is in all of that one. It was a big ooh for Mardell. Generator Boss of Light.
I believe that is Mudan.
Yes. Mudon is the one that gets you a Rikka spell or trap from your deck to your hand.
And you contribute a plant monster to special summon this card from the hand. So if this card's no more special summoned, you get the spell card.
Go ahead and tribute off the princess there for Mudon.
I think that is a Rikka Con added to hand from the effect.
Target princess. They become force.
And if we target a Rikka Princess, I believe both those monsters have now been converted to level 4, so we're probably going to see a Rikka Queen Strena.
In defense position.
Strena's effect. Target Ricochet.
Oh, target any Rika card?
It's any Rika card or any plant.
We're going to see Rikka Queen Strena, detach a material, target a plant or Rikka card in the graveyard, add it to the hand. And we're going to see a Link summon.
So 2 plus Mardell makes Aromaseraphie Jasmine. Aromaseraphie Jasmine, turning everything into a lone Fire Blossom.
Jasmine's effect.
Jasper's effect. Tributing off the Strena.
And this is going to go through as well. Doesn't look like Shunping has any way to interact. No Ash Blossoms or anything of that sort.
Mardell and Fiona.
Kevin taking a little bit of time thinking about what to summon out of his deck.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's like a pause there for question from Shunping or if he's just taking a while. I feel like if you're just going to get Petal, which seems kind of an obvious choice there, that maybe doesn't take that long. So I think there might have been a question on whether or not he could summon the Jasmine in the first place.
And the effect of Strena has now activated because she did have material when she was tributed. We're going to more or less rank up into a higher level plant Xyz monster, and it's going to be Hyperiton because Hyperiton provide us with additional negation. You can detach basically a matching card type material to negate the appropriate card that they activate.
So Petal activates here to grab another plant. And we'll see if Kevin can get a spell underneath that Hyperiton again. You should know at this point it's more important than ever to be able to block a spell card.
Yes, with the Runick's already revealed. Like, unlike most other Kashtira decks that run Forbidden Lances and a lot of generic protection cards, we're going to see the Runick package come into play.
And here's one that Shunping hasn't seen yet. That is Hellebore, the Rikka Fairy.
5.
It's a way to block effects that target monsters you control. You contribute her from your hand or face-up field
Activate
to
Concon.
negate that effect.
Activate Concon again.
Concon effect.
Chain Hyperiton. Touch.
Oh, that's smart. He had 2 copies of the field spell, so he's able to activate one and then use another, which immediately replaces the first one, and then use Hyperiton's effect to get it attached there. So he's got a spell beneath the Hyperiton. Rikka Concon is going to let him go ahead and tribute one of Shunping's cards. And thanks to the Concon, he also gets a trap card from his deck, and that is Rikka Tranquility, which can special summon a Rikka from your graveyard And if you tributed a monster when you activated it, special summon a plant from your graveyard as well. So you could turn one of Shunping's monsters into two of his.
Activate without tributing. I will.
Sets 2.
That's 3.
In the main phase?
And, yep.
End of main phase.
Shunping looks like he's ready to go. He's just like, you done yet? You done yet? You done yet? I'm ready. He was deep in thought there. You could see him for a second. But now he's got the energy back in him.
The field spell plus the trap card is going to be very, very scary.
With the Hellebore in hand. And we'll see if he remembers that it's there.
Standby phase.
And I think a princess is in the graveyard as well.
Activate Tranquility, tribute Petal.
Tranquility has been activated. Also tributed a plant, special summon a Rikka monster from the graveyard in defense position,
yes.
and if you tributed a monster when you activated this card, which is the additional effect, you can special summon one plant monster, another plant monster.
And that's Mudon and Mardell coming back, which gets a spell or trap and a plant. Or a generator, but probably a plant.
We're not going to see another generator.
What have you got, Shunping? He's waiting very patiently. It feels like he's got something.
A Rose Whip. A Naturia Rose Whip. Not part of the Naturia cards that we've been seeing all weekend, but...
Nope.
Nothing else.
Secret sixth Naturia monster.
Typically, when we see a Rose Whip, that's from the Therian plant deck from a couple seasons ago.
Couple seasons ago. It limits the opponent to activating one spell or trap per turn. It's kind of like legendary Six Samurai Shien. Very similar effect.
Yeah, that's right.
Possibly exactly the same, but I'm not sure. But he's got evenly matched the one thing that Kevin did not have.
This is going to open up the field a lot.
And that's why he looked so confident over there.
I mean, that was the most appropriate card to play, especially under a scenario like this one, especially when it's very difficult to attach a trap onto Hyperiton.
Looked like he wanted to. Like, that's part of why you would activate the Tranquility right away, is if you could activate something else to get it on there. So Fenrir drops in defense position. Fountain drops.
Either of these could be negated.
Activation thing.
Does Shunping have just exactly every card he needs to get out of this?
You have to control Rikka to make
Yes.
Or is the Fenrir just a bait to set things up? Burn the effect of Hyperiton? And is holding, if he's holding a unicorn to follow up, that would spell disaster.
It's got Runick Tip.
I mean, do you negate this?
Runick Tip. Oh.
Oh, that's a very strong card.
I mean, you're going to have to either negate this or the thing it gets, most likely.
And if you're down to just a one negate, it's you gotta be as effective as possible.
You still got the Hellebore.
We're going to see the banish. He banished it, like you said, a little early there. Cosmic Cyclone being banished. But
Yeah,
we're going
going back in after you see the banish is a little not great. You really need to stop your opponent and be like, do not banish this until I search.
now you have to. You have
It's
to.
either going to
now.
be that or the other one.
Detach.
There's no advantage of just letting it be destroyed.
Okay.
And a freezing curse. That's going to allow both of them to go through.
destroy it, top to banish.
And after all this is done, the fountain can trigger.
And there's going to be 3 cards, immediately just the ones on the table. To the shuffling up to the bottom of the deck, and we're going to proceed to draw 3 cards. Now the Fenrir is open to add a monster into hand.
And the Hellebore is not live because he doesn't control a Rikka monster.
Man, I think
Unreal. Just a ridiculous opening from Shunping.
Evenly Matched is just such a powerful card this weekend. Just ridiculously powerful. Like, when you commit everything onto the field and you're just not ready for the card, it just turns the whole game around. We're going to be adding a Rise Heart from the effect of Fenrir. Oh, terraforming to
Terraforming.
follow up.
He's going to replace it with Theosis? Or with the planet? Or is he just going to get another fountain?
We're just going to get another fountain.
Another fountain, okay.
That does open the Gary play. He's going to overplay it. He's got. Oh, he already has
had
the
the
other
plan.
one. Okay.
That makes sense then.
He's going to be. That looks like a unicorn being added to hand here. It's a unicorn. Kashtira unicorn. Both Rise Heart and unicorn both in Shunping's hand.
He's got Birth as well.
Being able to draw cards in a deck like this is incredibly massive. We've seen people play cards like Pot of Desires just to get the extra reach, but instead we're going to go for the one that draws 3 cards. That's going to be Runick Fountain. And Runick Fountain can't overplay on top because Runick Fountain is not once per turn for the activation. And we have a Tearlaman's Kashtira.
All right.
There's something.
Banishing the unicorn.
Are we going to see a Theosis banish?
And part of the trouble with these decks, like the Rikka decks, you don't have room for too many ways. Like, you have to spend a lot of your deck on the cards you need to win the game. You don't have a lot of room for things to stop your opponent from winning the game.
Yes, I think that's the opposite of Kashtira, where you have tons of room for a lot of different cards. Yes, it's going to be the Theosis being banished. And Theosis is going to activate its effect, adding back that unicorn. That's a little bit of a refund almost on the Tearlaman's Kashtira.
I feel like Shunping's got a refund on like every card he played,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then some.
I feel like he's got basically got a little bit of a coupon book right there.
Just hiding it beneath the extra deck. Just gotta clip it out.
Draw one, get one free.
And he's taking a look at Petal and Princess again. Both extremely powerful graveyard effects.
Is there a way to leave the Birth on the field and a Kashtira monster, making it very difficult to activate spell cards, and perhaps banishing that stuff out of the graveyard?
You have to get the Birth back. He's going to swap out with the Fountain again.
And that banishes the card, and that's going to... there is another one. Just a master of manipulating resources here.
All right. So in the end phase, the Petal's going to spring up here.
And the Petal is not staying on the field.
Chain Hellbore?
Hellbore comes in.
And now that he's got the Rikka monster on the field again, he can chain Hellebore.
Yeah, any effect that targets.
That's going to negate it.
Okay.
No, it just negates the effect. Unfortunately for Kevin, it leaves the Rise Heart on the field.
Well, luckily, the card only requires a tribute, so it's not like a requirement to send to the graveyard, so
Right.
it's still good to keep the monster on the field. So it does provide maybe not a chance for Kevin here.
And the good news is that Rise Heart's only got 2 materials, so the content of Shunping's hand matters again.
Does he have a Runick card?
I think he does.
There's the
it's-
best
he has
one.
every Runick card.
The
Okay.
best one, okay.
Anyone he wants.
I'm going to open my inventory now, and we're going to see what we're going to get.
And it's a Freezing Curses.
But this time around, the tip is going to get banished. But that's also going to load an additional card onto the Rise, making that card online.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Oh, this is actually quite neat here. He's going to keep on reattaching the Runick cards so that if the Arise card ever gets answered, they're going to be put back into the graveyard. Once again, trying to get that refund from the Runick Fountain.
So we'll see what, if anything, Kevin has to work with here.
Oh, okay.
This one get banned.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I got you. Petals effect.
The card that was banished was a Rose Archer.
Petals effect activates. That looks like it's going to get negated immediately.
And that's going to banish 3 more cards off of Kevin's deck. And another card being attached back onto the Arise Heart. This is a very interesting way to play Kashtira.
Now we're going to use Rose Girl.
I really do wonder how much of an impact that Arise Heart has when it comes to just making everything banished.
Oh, you mean just the macrocosmos?
Yes, the
essence of it?
macrocosmos thing. Yeah, that particular part.
Yeah, it's huge. It is really good.
We'll normal summon those.
We're gonna see normal summon of the Rose Girl. Both of these are about to be banished. For the summon of,
Here's a Dance Peon.
and we're gonna get another attachment because cards once again were banished. That's something that you just have to constantly keep up with.
Yeah, it's a summon.
We're gonna see the excavation of 3 cards. We're gonna hit 3 monsters.
We're going to hit the World Carrot Weight Champion.
Oh, that reminds me of Duel Links. A very powerful card back in the day for Duel Links.
Yeah, and only one of those gets summoned. The Archer is a warrior.
Oh, is it?
Archer's a warrior.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I don't know anything. Well, I suppose to know.
But are there any Link 3s that we can have access to?
There are. I'm not sure how helpful they are. I'm thinking Kevin really needed to hit multiple monsters here.
You can't just use a single monster to go into an Xyz summon.
Unless your name is Zodiac anything.
Or if you're Kashtira that had just happened to have the Shangri-La activated their effect.
Yep. All right.
Oh.
So looks like we're going to banish Rose Lover now to special summon something from hand.
So we're not done yet.
That will get the second monster.
Oh, that scared me for a second there. I was like, oh, just pick up all my cards. And we're going to see the activation to banish the World Carrot Weight Champion.
So Carrot Weight Champion is out.
That's going to trigger a Rise Heart once again.
Yep, we got to finish this chain first, though.
Oh, is it part of this chain link?
From
here? Oh,
yeah,
from yeah,
change
that's
it
correct.
to the Rose Lover.
It's a Rose Whip. And we're going to get the Theosis reattached? Or this is the effect from Theosis?
Okay.
I
Yeah,
believe
so this is the Theosis effect, and then we're going to attach the Theosis back.
perfect value. I believe he's just been playing with the same cards over and over and over again right now.
Two things that Runick and Kashtira excel at. Tributes off Dance Peon.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think there's many more effects left on Shunping side.
That should be the last one, unless he's got yet another Runick card.
And even if he does play the Runick card, if that's not going to get rid of that Rose Whip, that would be the last spell card Shunping was going to be able to activate.
Tearluin's Kashtira
More monsters.
is chained as well. And we've got
Mudon.
Mudon. So Mudon's going to activate to get a spell or trap.
Then channel through to your cash.
Okay.
Cards left in the deck.
We're going to chain Tearluin's Kashtira.
9.
Oh, I think we just counted out the deck here. And I
Oh, it
believe
looks like
Shunping-
he sent everything that he was going to look for.
Yeah, what a good play there. I think Shunping was really just mathing it out here, calculating how many cards could Kevin potentially add and use the effect just to get rid of all the resources. And like you said, once we get rid of all the
still
cards...
there.
Oh, there's still
Concon's
one.
there.
There's still one.
Nothing for Con to get.
And we're going to reattach another card.
That's brutal, though, losing both of the main things.
They're going to have to play this one out.
Yeah, what we're looking for here was Con use Con to set one of the spells that contribute, then tribute off the Arise Heart.
This is
I think
very...
that's the line of play we were looking for.
And this is very difficult now. Like, I believe there's only 6 cards left in the deck.
Yep. I think this is going to be a case where the Runick cards just eliminate the rest of the deck.
Feather Duster.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
You got it.
I believe he just said you got it. Well, hold on. The card does not hit the graveyard now, does it?
No, it gets banished.
It gets banished.
Yep.
Just gonna take that too.
Sure, just attach the Feather Duster. Have a Rise Heart do a little bit of light cleaning.
But that would be the only spell he can activate now. Until...
Yeah, until something bad happens to Rose Whip.
Until now. Maybe. Well, that's still gonna be the last spell card for now.
You're going to take out...
The Mudon. Rise Heart 1, Theosis 2. Theosis adding back Rise Heart back into the hand. I mean, this is... We're going to special summon out Rise Heart.
Rise Heart's very high maintenance. You always have to just keep attaching. You need more materials, really, man? You just chill for 1 second and stop trying to destroy the universe.
I Rise Up would say, no.
No.
No. This is the longest living Arise Heart ever.
This thing's been around. It's only been a couple turns, but it's just attached and reattached. It feels like it's been around for the age of the universe.
Yes, I think this Arise Heart's working overtime.
So are we all. I feel him. I understand what it's like.
And we got to be careful. We got 11 seconds left on the clock here. I don't believe that there's a battle phase.
There's not.
All right, perhaps, are there any time extensions given here? And now this is a single elimination after all, so basically how that works is we're going to basically check until the end. Oh, we can say Big Eye. Okay. We're just going to take cards. But essentially what happens during Top Cut end of end of time here is that we're going to be comparing at the end of the current phase life points, but if life points are equal, we're going to continue to the end of turn until there's a life point difference at the end of the turn. But if Shunping has a Runick card, this could be the end.
And this is basically what we've been talking about, is using the Kashtira deck as the best gadget deck, right?
Yes.
You just run your opponent out of every single one of their cards until they're down to 1, and whatever one they draw gets banished. And now, as soon as you don't have to skip your battle phase, you just attack with everything.
Yep.
So I think, realistically, there is no way that Kevin wins this.
Is he top decking at the moment?
I believe he's top decking, yes.
Well, top decking is going to be very hard unless there's going to be a life point changing card.
Yeah.
And even
I don't think anyone's drawing sparks here.
That would be quite the upset. That would be quite the upset.
Now, you do get... maybe a life gain card.
Oh, life gain.
That.
Yeah, that's, maybe. I mean, there is the Aroma Seraphy Jasmine.
Gonna throw down Scareclaw Kashtira as well.
Reattach.
Let's hook up that Big Eye as well. Just make a second Rise Heart.
Just love this. I just love seeing this.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot you could do here. The pedal's gone. That got banished.
Top deck. Heart of the cards.
A little rough.
A little rough.